Can I have your attention, please? We'll be starting up shortly. Good evening, and welcome to the Lowell Planning Board for Monday, December 5th, 2022. The first matter on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of November 21st, 2022. I've been informed that staff is still working on the minutes, so I'm going to request that the minutes be continued to our next public hearing meeting, which is scheduled on January 5th, 2023. Do we have a second on that matter?
I second.
I know we have two board members on Zoom, Mr. Malovich and Sinead Galvin, so all in favor of the continuance?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. In opposition? Hearing none, the motion carries. So unfortunately this evening, we have board members who are not present, and we have two board members who are on Zoom, because we have board members with COVID, we have board members with the flu, so who are not able to be here tonight. So Caleb and I are the only ones who will be present during the meeting tonight, but indicated we do have two board members who are sick at home that are on Zoom, Mr. Malovich and Sinead Galvin, so they will be participating in tonight's meeting. The other board members, unfortunately, not able to participate. So both of our matters tonight for public hearings require a site plan and a special permit. And whenever we only have 4 board members, we always give the courtesy to the applicant to indicate whether they'd like to go forward with the board members who are present, or if they'd like a continuance. Once it came to my attention today, I was in communication with our senior planner, Fran, and we discussed this matter, so we tried to reach out to both the applicants and let them know what situation that we're in, that we only have 4 board members, and if the matter proceeded this evening, they would need all 4 votes, where usually they're entitled to get 4 out of 5 votes for the special permit, and then on the site plan, it would just be the majority vote, which would be 3 out of the 4 members that would be voting this evening. So after we reached out, we did receive communication back that the applicant from Bonham Ave, the House of Hope, has requested a continuance. They'd like to go before the planning board on a full board meeting. So they have requested that we continue the matter to January 5th, 2023. As indicated, we've always given the courtesy. We only have 4 board members. We've been doing that for many, many years, from way before I was chairperson. So at this point in time, the first matter on the agenda, I will read the notice, is under continued notice, which we had before us before, is the site plan and special permit for 35 Bonham Ave. House of Hope, Inc. has applied to the planning board seeking site plan review and special permits to construct an 8-unit apartment dwelling at the above address. The property is located in the traditional single-family zoning district. The project requires planning board approval for site plan review under section 11.4 and a special permit to extend the existing non-conforming use under section 4.5.2. So as indicated, the applicant has requested a continuance to January 5th. So I'll make a motion that we continue the matter to January 5th, 2023. Do we have a second on the matter?
I second the motion.
Motion made in second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. So we have Bob and Sinead voting in favor as well. So that motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against, to continue this matter to January 5th, 23. The 4 in favor, 0 against. So moving along, the next matter we have on tonight is a site plan review and a special permit for 113 Walker Street. JJN Realty Trust has applied to the Lowell Planning Board for site plan review and special permit approval at the above address. The project consists of 2 lots. The applicant proposes to construct a 3-unit residential structure on Lot A and a 6-unit residential structure on Lot B. The subject property is located in the traditional multi-family zoning district and requires special permit approval pursuant to Article 12.1C for 3 units on 1 lot and per Article 12.1D for 6 units on 1 lot. The site plan review approval pursuant to Section 11.4 to construct more than 3 units on 1 lot. So as indicated, for the applicant, if they want to proceed to go forward tonight, they may. If they would like to continue it, it's whatever the applicant would like to proceed. So may we hear from the applicant, please?
Good evening, Chairman Linehan, members of the board. For the record, John Cox, 375 Gorham Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. I represent JJN Realty Trust, John Norton trustee from their address is 17 High Street, Chelmsford. We would like to go forward this evening, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much for the courtesy, and thank you from Francesca and her people for calling today and letting us know that this matter, the situation with the board. Hope everybody feels better soon, but this may be repetitive. You people may remember this matter. This is actually the third time it's been before you in some form or another. Back in August of 2000, the petitioner was granted a permission from this board for special permits and site plan review pertaining to the proposal back then, which would have been 8 units. The same thing, subdividing the lot at Walker Street, 4 units on Lot A, 4 units on Lot B. That was approved by this board, like I said, 2 years ago. Back in August, we came back before the board as a pre-application discussion. Mr. Norton has met with the neighbors over there and made some pretty big changes to his plan, which we thought was a good plan to begin with, but Mr. Norton wanted to go back and speak with the neighbors and see if he could make it even better. And we think he did. DPD staff has been very, very supportive and strong in their belief that it's a better plan. We also have, and I'm sure you have with you in your packet somewhere, a letter from Butchie Paquette, who is the direct abutter, Butchie and Hazel, supporting this project, and also a letter from Dave Willett, the president of the Acre Coalition to Improve Our Neighborhood, stating his support, their support for this project. In a nutshell, what we would be proposing would, again, subdivide the lot. And it's a huge lot, as you know. Currently has an existing 2-family home on the site. The site is is very, very much underutilized, I would suggest, in its present condition. But the proposal we have before you this evening would be to, again, subdivide it to a Lot A. Lot A would have a 3-unit residential structure, and Lot B would have a 6-unit residential structure. If you look from the plan here and the plans that we had back in 2000, one of the immediate things you look at when you see a plan like this is how much more green space there is in this proposal than in the past proposal. Like I said, we would demolish the existing 2-family residential unit. We would need relief under, as the chairman pointed out, under 12.1C, 12.1D, and 11.4. And I think when we met back in August, the feedback we received from the board was very, very positive. That the board, as any city would be, was very happy that the applicant went back, spoke to the neighbors, although he does have approval for the prior proposal, but went back and spoke to the neighbors and tried to make it more palatable to the neighborhood and to the city. And I would suggest that the memo from the DPD staff dated November the 29th speaks for itself. I'm sure all of you have it. Rather than me go over every part of this, I'd just like to highlight a few things. Number 6, the proposed plan meets all zoning requirements for TMF zone. Project does not require any other zoning board of approvals. Number 7, the revised plans are an improvement from the initial plan set. The 2 buildings will be developed using different plans from different architects, resulting in more organic infill development on Walker Street. And the new plan set also better aligns with the city's design guidelines for traditional neighborhoods, which states a number of things. We have, since the August meeting, in response to Mr. Cheng's suggestion pertaining to a landscaping plan, as you can see, that's included in this new proposal. So hopefully that makes that stronger. And obviously, number 12 states, DPD staff feel the current proposal is a stronger application as it results in a development that is more sensitive to the neighborhood context. So I would suggest that all of these factors are important. I would suggest that one of the most important is the fact that the developer didn't just take his approvals and do what he wanted, what he could have with them. He worked closely with the neighborhood, and now we have a letter in support from again, the direct abutter and the actual neighborhood organization. There's more parking, there's more green space, there's more snow storage. Trash is now going to be used in screened dumpsters. There's less building coverage. I think this proposal is 13% less building coverage than the approved, which was, I think, 19%. So for all those reasons, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we would ask that the matter be approved, and obviously, if that were to happen, we would relinquish whatever we would have to do on the prior approval, clearly, if this matter were to be approved. So that's where we're at. Happy to answer any questions, but again, this is probably getting a little repetitive for you people, so you've seen it so many times, but happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak on behalf of the applicant? Sure, if you would, Matt, but
Want a presentation?
yes, I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I forgot to mention Matt. I feel bad. Didn't mention him.
I think Matt will get over it.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Probably.
I don't know how long it'll take, but
So, the existing conditions.
just a name for the record, please.
Matt Hammer,
you very
Lamplex
much.
Engineering, 10 George Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. So, here's the perimeter parcel here, Walker Street, across is Schaefer Street. There's an existing two-family residence on the property, and then generally landscaped in itself there. The proposed project is to subdivide the property into two pieces here, okay? The first piece here would consist of 12,300 square feet. There'll be a proposed three-unit building. Each unit will be a three-bedroom unit. All the units within the entire development is going to be approximately 1,400 square feet in size for each of the units. There'll be a proposed curb cut here, 24 feet wide, coming in with an access drive with 8 spaces out in front of the unit and an additional 2 in the rear. Similar to the other plan, we wanted to have a 15-minute temporary loading and unloading area for someone to just come into the property and always have a space available. So we continued that space to be here that can accommodate a delivery vehicle, somebody visiting, and what have you. So that was a concern, that we wanted to maintain that aspect. I know it was something that the abutters were mentioning at the prior hearing for the prior approval, so we wanted to maintain that. There's going to be a fenced-in dumpster area here, and there's also going to be a solid white fence along the abutters property, which was part of the original project in itself. Going to Lot B, this lot will be 24,542 square feet. There's going to be a 6-unit building there. Each of the units will be 3-bedroom units, all approximately 1,400 square feet in size. 18-foot access drive width, curb cut, 15-foot wide drive, which conforms, coming in to accommodate 14 parking spaces, the same 15-minute turnaround area here, as well as a dumpster area fenced in with solid white fencing. And on this, we're also going to put a solid white vinyl fence to the neighbors at 99 Walker Street. Both of these projects fully conform with all the zoning ordinance for usable open space, exceed the parking necessary for the units. And there's actually, the reason why this was pushed to the rear a little bit was so that if there was additional parking needed, we felt as though we could actually add a couple spaces if need be in the future. Obviously, that we'd have to come back before the planning board for an amendment, but that was the reason why we pushed this back a little bit here. And then with that, we also get some decent amount of green space between the actual parking area and the unit itself, which also is a benefit to the residents of the unit. I know at the last, the preliminary meeting, we had Caleb, wanted a detailed landscaping plan. So we have provided a detailed landscaping plan. This landscaping plan identifies areas where the landscaping is located, out front, along here with some shade trees, some plantings back here, a planting area in the back, and then those are identified with a legend for the individual type of vegetation and the quantity of each. Same thing here. Again, they're numbered out front and then also numbered in the rear. And that's the legend with the landscaping plan that's been provided for the project. Do you want to go through all the engineering?
I'm sorry?
You want to go through all the engineering, utilities, and things of that nature?
I have no question, Leno. Is you, Caleb?
I,
Do you just want to show some architecture?
yeah, architect.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Okay.
I just wanted to note that we're currently going to be meeting with the stormwater team to
Yep.
deal with any drainage-related issues. The prior plan, essentially, we had nice sandy soils, similar drainage methodology, and then we'll also be addressing the water service and the sewer service, so we don't find that to be of any problem at all with the project. Okay, so this is the 3-unit building,
It's lot one, right?
Lot A.
Lot A, okay, sure.
Yeah.
A and B, okay.
This is the front of the building, as you would see it, looking at the building from Walker Street. There's a front entrance porched overhang coming into the unit. And then there's the porch, there's bay windows that extend out here. This is the view looking at this from the right side. So here's your entrance way here, covered porch style, which is here. And then these are, bay window protrusions out from the building itself that are here. And then conversely, if you're on the opposite side, you won't see that porch. You'll just see those bay window style extensions. This is the right side of the building with emergency egress way in the rear, as well as rear porches for each of the floors to exit out of the building. Not porches, it's an egress way in the back. This is the back, showing when you come out of the rear on the top, there is a porch. Then you come down the set of stairs, and then you continue down, and then there are partial porches in the back. But it's mainly a stairway to get down and out of the building. Those porches can't be obstructed in any way. There's a nice enlarged front view that's been added to give you a little bit more clear view of the windows and the trim work and the style of the hardy board siding, which gives you a shingled style look off the front, and that's the effect that they're doing here. And it also integrates in with some clapboard visual items as well. I believe that was a question during the prior approval where we wanted a mixture of siding materials.
Oh, okay.
And that's what's being done here, to give it a little bit more,
Like we've done in the past to break it
yeah,
up?
yep. These are the floor plans. It's the basement, the storage area in the basement for all the units. All the mechanicals are down in the basement. This is the first floor, Unit 1. They're big size units. You know, you have a big master bedroom with its own master bath, individual 2 additional bedrooms, also an office. That's now, people want offices more and more now. Separate bath, and then the kitchen in the living area is in the rear, obviously the quieter end of the building. And then there's a small exterior deck with access to the egress. That's on the first floor. And they all mimic each other, same layout. Little deck with the egress on the second floor, as well as the same thing with the third. All the units are all stacked identically to each other on all 3 floors. Any questions about this 3-unit, or do you want me to go to the 6-unit?
If you would, please, sure. Just at least the outside anyways.
I just was wondering if you had any more questions about that plan while I had it
No,
up.
I don't have any. Do you, Kayla? No.
Okay.
I'll ask
I
you
actually have one,
Sure.
one question.
Go ahead, Shanae.
Sure. Just while we're on that 3-unit plan, I saw that bike storage was provided for both buildings, but I didn't see it on the 3-unit. I only saw it on the 6-unit. Could you point to that in the plan? And that's interior bike storage.
So there's no specific identified bike storage, but we can most certainly have it added as a condition.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Oh,
Was that on both units or just the one?
Well, right now we're on 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, and
I
it was
saw-
noted on
oh,
the
I'm
6.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It was noted on the 6-unit, just not on the
Okay.
3-unit, so
Yeah.
I wanted to just make sure I wasn't missing it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I know Shanae mentions it on planning staff comments. The proposed floor plans include a basement storage for each resident as well as a bike storage area.
Yep, and we can add a bike storage area. Yep. So we also have individual storage units on the 3-unit where the bikes can go. But you know, I think people want their bicycles inside their units. So we can allocate an additional area if need be in the basement, but we do have the storage units for that.
Shanae, any further questions on that or on the other unit?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Bob, any questions so far? Mr. Malovich?
No, nothing on the 3-unit building.
Okay.
Okay, thank
I
you.
do have a question. You might have mentioned it, but are these condos or are they intended to be apartments for rent? Apartments to rent.
It's going to be rentals.
Okay. Thank you.
So here we are on the 6-unit building. So this is facing the building. It's got a mansard-style roof on it. There's also a difference in materials similar to the other building, where you have that different material here on the mansard part, as well as clapboards on the majority of the front on the first 2 stories, as well as paneling for the bay unit style windows that come out of the building itself. So you have a mixture of 3 different accents there. Also some decorative overhang, which you commonly see in Lowell, which would be these ornamental braces for the soffit underneath the mansard, which is a nice architectural element there. This is the side here of the building, showing that material separation here on the mansard to the bay windows. And this is the rear access door in the back of the building. There's a stairway in that building. The front entranceway has a small overhang just to get into the actual unit building. This is the opposite side, showing that. This is the rear of the building here. Also has a handicap ramp in the building for access. And this is the rear of the building with a clapboard style siding. This is the first floor plan. So here's the entranceway here with a common entry leading into the 2 units and the stairway to get up on to the 2nd floor. This is unit 1 here. So what happens here is if you take unit 2 and the bathrooms are such that the bathroom access is on this side, but on the other side for this portion is from unit 2. So they swap out the different access to the bathrooms and the laundry area as well. So this is the laundry area for unit 1. This is the laundry area for unit 2. Living area, 3 bedrooms, an office, study, and then a rear exit way to exit out of the unit itself. Same thing with this unit here. These kitchens are actually up towards Walker Street, not on the rear as the 3-unit building. And this is the common stairwell for the entire building here in the back. 2nd floor, same style, identical to the units below. This is the main stairway coming up, and then you access the units here on either side. Similar, the egress comes out of the back of these into the stairwell unit itself. And the same thing with the 3rd floor. So they're all identical. This is the basement. Coming down to the basement from that rear access, as well as the when you come into the foyer side as well. And there's a main electrical room. There's a maintenance and storage area here, bike storage, utility room, and then individual storage units for all the units themselves. And I can answer any questions related to the architectural plans.
Any of the board members have any questions on any of the architectural at this time? Shanae, Bob, or Caleb?
No,
Oh, Caleb, any questions? No? Okay. Shanae, any further questions on architectural or anything at this time?
No, none at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything further from the applicant?
No, that's the extent of the presentation.
Okay, thank you. So at this point in time, I'll turn the matter over to the public, and I'll start off with, anybody like to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Hearing none at this time, as indicated, we did receive 2 letters. I'll read these into the record. One is from David Oulette, 113 Cabbage Street, President Acre Coalition to Improve Our Neighborhood, regarding 113 Walker Street. To all concerned, I had taken in, I had talked in opposition of this project many months ago. There were some items and concerns that needed to be addressed. John has successfully addressed the concerns and upgraded the plans, layouts, and designs above and beyond what we are hoping to achieve. John's goals are now to make the new project a showpiece for the neighborhood. I am in favor of the new plans and design and would like to thank John for deciding to be part of our Acre neighborhood by retaining ownership of the apartments once completed. Thank you, David Oulette, Action Acre Neighborhood Group. And we have another letter from Raymond and Hazel Patnod, 125 Walker Street. Dear Chairman Linehan and members of the Planning Board, this letter is regarding the proposed new site design at 113 Walker Street. As a direct abutter to 113 Walker Street, I'd like to go on record that I fully support the proposed design. Over the last year, I've met with the developer numerous times regarding the previously approved site design with 4 duplexes on 2 lots. The developer has a long-term plan for the property, is invested in bettering the neighborhood, and has addressed many concerns with the previous approved plans. The proposed site design reduces the building coverage, going from 4 structures to 2, resulting in more usable green space. Additionally, it nearly doubles the building setback from my property line. The proposed site design restores the neighborhood character when compared to the approved plans, as there are many triple-decker buildings on Walker Street and in the Acre. So the new plan will blend with the other homes on the street. The building materials will be higher quality, and the 2 proposed buildings are unique designs, unlike the approved plan. The proposed site design also has more parking spaces and has the ability to add more if needed. Additionally, snow storage is significantly improved with the centralized snow storage and stockpile area of about 65,000 square feet. The proposed 6,500 square feet. The proposed trash removal plan is also improved, now to be collected by dumpster versus private totes, which often don't get picked up quickly after pickup and easily overthrown. This is in line with surrounding properties. I asked the planning board to take these improvements into consideration during the permitting process and support this project, as the developer has listened and incorporated the concerns of the neighborhood in the proposed site plan. Sincerely, Raymond and Hazel Patna. So we have those 2 matters read into the record, and we place it in the file as exhibits. I'll go back. Anybody else want to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Anybody in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Anybody on Zoom beep it in, Fran? No? So at this point in time, I'll turn it over to the board members for any questions or comments. Is that somebody's Zoom? Is that someone's
Chair,
Zoom?
I have, this is Shane Galvin. I just have a couple of comments and maybe a clarifying question.
Sure. Ms. Galvin?
I first just wanted to commend the applicant. I think that they've done a really nice job working with the neighborhood to make a better development. They also, in the presentation that was available in the document center online, I don't think that they mentioned it today, but they also said that they're seeking an all-electric heating system, an EV charging station for an electric vehicle, and a solar power hookup. So I just also wanted to point that out. I think that that's a really great improvement to the building and to the site and for our environment. So thank you. And then I also wanted to note that I'm glad to see that the 6-unit development has an accessible ramp so that the first floor units could be accessible to a person in a wheelchair. I think that that's really great. And I appreciate that type of development. So I think my other items are mostly just comments. I did note I'm in support of having an approved site plan through the DPD. I did see that the presentation had a site plan and landscaping plan, but it's a little bit different than what's presented as part of the overall packet. So I think an approved landscaping plan from the DPD, I would be in support of that. And one thing that I noticed too, in addition to the landscaping plantings that are different, the sidewalks to the front and rear doors aren't showing up on the site plan, but they were showing up in the landscape plan. And I think having kind of some kind of paved surface that could be easily shoveled or cleared would be a benefit to the residents, both at the front door and the rear door. I think that wasn't showing up on the site plan. So that's the comment. You already heard my comment about the bike storage in the 3-unit development, that if there could be bike storage in the basement for the residents, I think that would be really great in the interior. And then I think my final item is just a question. Is the parking lot, and maybe this is part of the submitted landscape and site plan, but is the parking lot going to be lit or is it just building lighting? I was just curious about that. I think about that a lot, especially this time of year.
Matt, can you try to answer that question if you don't
Yeah,
mind?
so we most certainly would add walkways from the front of the building out to the sidewalk out front. Additionally, the lighting would just simply be downward facing for the front entranceway as well as the rear entranceway. More than likely put on a timer, just so it's not on all evening. And then the rear light in the back would be a motion sensitive downward facing flood.
If I may, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Norton has already also informed me that the sidewalks that referred to not the sidewalks on the street, but the sidewalks interior of the property will be heated.
And we could also.
That's great, yeah, if they could just be included, yeah, they're not showing up on the site plan, the ones to the entries, just on the landscape plan, so if they could just, making sure that those two pieces are coordinating, I think would be helpful, so what we're approving in one document is reflecting in the other. And, Mr. Chair, that's all I had, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Gavin. Mr. Malovich?
I want to congratulate them for the change in plan and working with the neighborhood. I think it's a tremendous plan. Looks like it would be in that neighborhood. I don't really have any problems except the number of trees in the parcels. You have big parking lots and you have no vegetation around the parking lot. Or a couple of trees sprinkled here and there in the parking lots. That would be my only concern.
Yeah, so there is 3 trees in the island separator in the parking lot that shows up on the landscape plan, which I can.
Okay,
Do you want to see that, Bob? We can pull up the plan, or you satisfied with the
no, that's
commentary?
all right, I believe him.
Okay, so,
So we have some plantings here. We have some plantings here, and the existing vegetation in the back will remain.
I guess that's satisfactory.
okay. Anything further, Bob?
No, I think it's a good project, and I think it's great to replace the other plan we approved with this new one, which is much better for the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, appreciate it. Caleb?
I concur with my other members that appreciate the plan change, and apparently I think the letter of support shows the effort that you guys have invested. And it's good to see I have free deckers going up. And they are rare these days. And I'm happy with the architectural plan. I think the only questions, I have is maybe the access of the rear parking lot on the 6th unit. Like, I'm wondering how will the people walk from there to the building if the sidewalk ends like where it is? Whether it might be a good idea to extend that sidewalk a little further. A walkway, okay. Okay. As long as, I know walking in the grass is, could be a drag sometimes. Yeah, we'll extend this sidewalk. Okay. That's just minor details, so. I think for the bike storage, I'm in the same, same opinion as member Galvin. So if there, depending on need, a dedicated space for bike parking, that would be appreciated. I think the 6th unit folks get a space, so it's fair that the 3 unit folks can get a space for their bikes as well. But good job, thank you.
I just have a couple of questions. So I think at the beginning of your presentation, you said there would be the lots would be subdivided? So is that going to come before us for a subdivision plan, or is it going to be an A&R plan?
That'll be an A&R plan.
Okay, A&R, okay, thank you. Yes, and again, I'd like to compliment the applicant for actually sitting down and listening to the neighbors. It's not too often that someone gets an approved plan and goes and sits and works with the neighbors to improve the plan. I can't really say too often that comes back before us again once they already have an approval, and now they're asking for another approval, which is in context to, be honest with you, neighbors who spoke against the old one in the past, who were here present and spoke against it. And now they come forward and give us letters in support of it. Said the applicant came forward, wanted to make a better project. I'm always of the belief, if anything comes before the planning board, if we can do anything to make a better project, so be it. I think that's basically what we're here for. Obviously, I voted for it last time, now I see a better project in front of me. I have no problems about voting for it this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think it's great work by the applicant, and again, I applaud him like the other board members did. He could have just built the other one and moved on. I know when he came in on the pre-application stage, he had a question about they were gonna do some street work, so we had to get the timing in to get this thing going, because if not, he had to do all the curb cuts out front first, because we had a letter, I believe, when he came in for the pre-app. So he was like saying, well, I'll stop my work out there first if I have to make sure that they won't be cutting into the street when I can finally build these up and then not be able to cut into the street for no sewage. So I know that was a matter. So like I say, in the comments from staff, I like to see extra parking. Even though when some people say there's enough parking, for example, like in my house, one zone, it requires 2 parking spots. But today I was home and my 2 daughters stopped by, and then my son-in-law stopped by, and they all had a car. So there's 4 people in the house, there's 4 cars out front. So you're like, how often does that happen? And like one of these where you say, you're only entitled to 2, but people stop by to see. And we weren't having a party, it was just, they were stopping in to do different things. So extra parking, I'm always in favor of. And the fact that they're leaving room for the extra parking, I encourage that. Because, during the holidays, people come over, and then people have special events in their life, whether it be, between different holidays, different graduations, other type of parties, or birthday parties, or whatever. So it's always good to have enough off-street parking, in my opinion. I think I'm glad to see that there's more snow storage. I'm glad to see that all the zoning requirements are completed. So I know we talked about in the past that the buildings were going to be sprinkled. Are these going to be sprinkled as well?
Yes, they will be.
Okay, all right. I know basically the 6, I think, is required to be sprinkled, isn't it?
Both buildings are.
Both are monthly
Yeah,
enough?
if you
is
have
that what it is
3
now?
units,
Okay.
you need to be
All right.
sprinkled.
I think, so you need a stormwater permit, okay. We got the letter of support, yeah, so I think that covers only my questions.
I mean, I have one
Sure, go
question.
ahead.
So I want to ask Fran whether DPD, how far have you reviewed the landscaping plan?
I don't think that staff has reviewed it in depth. We do have Jess, who's the design planner, and she's a landscape architect, so she can
Okay.
take a look. I don't think that she did an in-depth review, but we can certainly coordinate that.
And I remember seeing it, Member Galvin had mentioned about certain, like, that might be a condition that applicant can work with the DPD.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
So as a procedural matter, I think Attorney Cox brought up as we started was, so we have the applicant has an approval already. So I guess whatever vote tonight now would circumvent the changes of the previous approval. I mean, if we vote to deny it, then the previous approval still stands, obviously, so we don't take that away. So I guess if we approve it, and if the applicant's satisfied with the approval, we can make a condition that this approval supersedes the prior approval?
Absolutely,
Does
Mr.
that
Yes,
sound like satisfactory legal
Yes.
language, Counselor?
very,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
because then you can say, well, I'm halfway here, I'm gonna build this one, I'm halfway here, I change my mind. And then we'll be sitting, well, we approved
Approval we
one.
would relinquish, yeah, and
Okay.
any prior approval, right,
Okay, but obviously you'd like to see what we vote first, I get that. Okay.
correct.
All right, so I think by looking at our condition tonight, we need 3 different votes. 1 site plan and 2 special permits. I believe that's what I read into the, yes. So the board members have any further questions? If not, we can entertain a motion. I'll make a motion that we approve the site plan with the conditions of that the applicant get a stormwater permit, that bike storage be put in, are we calling it Lot A or Lot 1, is it, Matt? Lot A, and I believe, what was the other question we had between Caleb and Sinead, that they want walkways to the sidewalk, and what was it, around the building there? Is that what you suggested, Caleb?
No, I
the
just,
sidewalk?
just working with DPD on landscaping. Now,
No, but I'm talking about when you asked
Yes.
about the sidewalk inside the
So,
interior there?
Chairman, so we're going to do 2 walkways for each building, from the front of the building out to the sidewalk.
Okay, so we'll do
And then we're
2
going
walk,
to, we're going to do 1 walkway from the rear of Lot B
okay.
to the parking area in the rear.
parking area.
So basically, what I'm saying is, we'll have the walkways
Yeah.
in front of the buildings and walkways
To the back.
on the site in the rear.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, a landscaping plan. Did I miss anything? Any other board members have any comments? Oh, no. So it'd be the, yeah, special permit for the stormwater, the bike storage, the walkways, and the landscaping plan. Any comments of those? If not, that's a motion.
Chairman,
Yes,
how about the other conditions in, with the old plan? I mean, sprinkler system, I know they're
He-
installing it, so.
they have those, I think they said they're required by law for three,
Okay,
for
so
3 and a
that's
6
not a
unit, yeah.
problem. Snow off-site, removal and.
But now they have,
Transfer.
now they have enough on-site.
We have enough
have
on-site.
Yeah, they have
and
plenty
then
now.
Pickup services, I suppose those.
Okay.
Things will, yeah.
So we'll put down that the, well, the dumpsters are on site, right?
Yep,
No objection.
Okay, dumpsters to be on site and screened
yep,
as indicated, as required by our bylaws anyways.
right.
And you guys are arranging also private pickups too, right?
Yeah, for the dumpsters, yep.
Yeah, so the dumpsters will be on site and screened in private pickup. Okay. Any other board have any questions or comments on the motions? If not, I got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion made and second for the site plan on Walker Street. So we have motion made and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, so that matter carries for the site plan. 4 in favor, none against. I will make the same motion to allow the special permit for 6 units on one lot with the same conditions.
Second the motion.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Hearing none, that motion carries. I'll make the same motion with the same conditions for the special permit for site plan approval to construct more than 3 units on one lot.
Second the motion.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Hearing none. Now that all those motions have been approved, council indicated that this plan will supersede any prior existing plans that have been approved by the planning board.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Is that a satisfactory condition? So I'll add that condition as well to the site plan and the 2 special permits. All in favor?
Aye.
Second?
Oh, sorry,
Aye.
second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Yep.
Okay, so this matter, so this plan will supersede as, the previous plan as indicated by council and approved by the applicant, and as well been approved by the board. So thank you very much, I appreciate it. Good work coming back and making a better.
Thank you,
making the
Mr. Chairman,
project
members
better
of the
than it was.
board. Thank you very much. Hope everybody has a great holiday season. I want to thank Francesca and Dylan and Peter they're just great to work with, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays as well, good luck.
Thank you. Have a nice holiday, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, moving along on the agenda, other of the board members have any further comments or updates? Okay, hearing none.
Mr.
I-
Ch-
I'm
Mr.
go ahead, Ms.
Chairperson?
Sure, go ahead, I'm
I
sorry.
just have one.
Sure.
Yeah, I just have one. I was just going to share that the Community Preservation Committee is deliberating. We're deliberating on applications beginning in January. So our first meeting to deliberate is on January, I believe it's January 12th. And then we have a follow-up meeting on January 26th if needed. So I just wanted, in case anyone's interested in tuning in to hear the deliberations.
So do you have less applicants than
all.
last year?
Yeah, we do have less applicants than last
Yeah, I
year,
think last year
but we
the first
also
game-
have less. We also have less funding because the first year we had about 3 years accrued of funding, and this year we only have 1 year of funding. So, but we do have more applications than we have funding. So there still will be some difficult decisions, but there are some really good applications.
Thank you.
Um,
Sure, Caleb?
Chairman, so I might be, probably will be absent in the first January meeting, and possibly the second, due to expecting a baby. So just wish to let the other members know so that we can have a quorum for the meeting.
Well, congratulations on you expecting to be a father, Caleb. We wish you well.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the board members for participating tonight. I know a lot of them haven't felt well. I know Bob and Sinead don't feel well tonight. I know Jerry's home real sick. I know it's a tough time of year to be sick, and I want to thank the board members for coming out tonight and participating, especially when you don't feel good. I know it's difficult to listen to the public as well as myself when you don't feel good. So I appreciate that very much for Sinead and Bob. Thank you very much on that. And on behalf of the board, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, and a healthy 2023. Saying that, if we have no further matters, we could entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion's made and do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Malovich. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hearing none, that matter is approved. We have adjourned. Good night. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it very much. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Happy holidays. And thank you, Fran. That's like a 20